Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Speaking Spurs and me here and talking all things Tottenham. First of all, apologies that I've been away for about a week and a half. Lots and lots of stuff going on. It does mean we missed out on talking about the 3-1 win against Leicester. So if anyone wants to know my thoughts on that, just let me know and I'll drop a video because I got a load of notes on it anyway, including player ratings and stuff like that. But time has moved on, and since then we had that 1-1 draw with Liverpool, which is what I'm going to talk about today. And then I've got another video that I will record tomorrow and have up. Don't worry, the Doherty video and stuff is still coming. I have a video that's going to go up, and I've made a load of notes on the scenarios about the whole top 4 conundrum and possible top 3, depending on how results go. So you can see a load of notes on there. Got a lovely little table on there. It just works out all the different scenarios and what we need in different circumstances. But anyway, enough of that. Moving on to my thoughts on the Tottenham-Liverpool game. The 1-1 draw, which in normal circumstances would have been a fantastic draw. But it turns out for us it wasn't enough, really, was it? First of all, playing away is never easy, especially at Anfield. But yeah, the draw didn't really help us too much, and it didn't help that Arsenal then went on to win 2-1 against Leeds. The second, was it Ayling? Or got sent off after 27 minutes or whatever. I just knew, Leeds were never going to be able to fight their way back into it properly. They did have some chances towards the end, to be fair. So although Arsenal kind of dominated the game, it was never truly comfortable, and an 11-man Leeds might have caused them more problems. But back to our game. So the 4-point gap with 3 games to go. North London derby must win. All games are must win from now to end of the season, really, until you hear the scenarios I've got. But, in this game from the start, Liverpool, as you would imagine, they dominated possession. And then we had the threat on the counter-attack. We knew that's exactly the way it was going to go. So cheers, Klopp, for your thoughts after the game. But yeah, Salah, so we'll just work our way through the first half and second half. Salah, shot deflected wide. Kane had an effort blocked by Henderson. Liverpool's best chance of the first half came through Van Dijk when he hit the crossbar. Diaz had a smart 1-2 and forced Lloris into a save, and then we straight away went up the other end, and Hotspur hits the post from distance. It was actually a really, really well struck shot. Something that he should do a bit more often. I think one of the things that he does lack is goals. We have a lot of these problems with some midfielders. Moussa Dembele was one over the years that probably should have got more goals and contributed more in that sense. And I know Hotspur, most and foremost, is a defensive midfielder, but it doesn't mean that he can't get forward and contribute in these ways. He finds himself in space often enough, sometimes decides not to shoot, takes the wrong action, as we'll talk about later on. But yeah, that was pretty much it for the first half. Then second half, we found some space, didn't we? Kane moved nicely from sort of the right-hand side, not out on the wing, but moved his way into the middle. Sessegnon had made a nice run into the left-hand side of the 18-yard box. Poor defending from Liverpool, really. Somebody should have come out to Sessegnon, but didn't, which gave him the space, and then it was a nice, easy first-time cushion ball across to Sonny, who had an empty net, really. Alisson was already committed one way as the ball went across. Nice finish. There we have it, 1-0 up. Anfield completely fell silent in that moment. Klopp did make some changes to influence the game. He brought on Jota for Henderson, and then our deep defending throughout the game. It pretty much left Liverpool with not many chances, not many options. I think we defended really, really well with that. Everybody behind the ball attitude, everybody putting themselves on the line for the badge, which is what we want to see. So they couldn't really find the space that they're used to in games. It kind of mixed up their play. Everything was broken down. But Salah did work some space, only for Ben Davies to come to the rescue with a sensational block, which he actually played down himself. He said, that's what we're there to do, and I got quite lucky, and it wasn't. He he read it well. He went across, stuck a leg out, and it was a great block. But 70 minutes in, Liverpool do get the equaliser, and it's not through great play. It was a Diaz deflected shot, and of all the players, it had to be Diaz, didn't it? The guy that we went for. That deflection off of Bentancur, very unlucky. But we held firm for the rest of the game. We were actually unlucky towards the end because Hotspur with another chance. I don't know why, but decided to try and head the ball back across goal towards Kane when he should have headed it into the back of the net. Really frustrating. But on a normal day, this is a fantastic display. It's a very hard place to go to. They're obviously pushing for the Premier League title against Manchester City. I just think we held really well. Everyone defended well. Loads of people had great performances, which leads me on to player ratings. So Hugo Lloris in goal comes away with a 7. He palmed away a Sessegnon misguided header. Obviously had a save from Diaz, his first half curler. Romero, he gets a 9. And our defenders, by the way, they've all done really well here. Romero with a 9. Very little got past him, as we've come accustomed to recently. Won his headers. His foot always seemed to get to the ball before everybody else. He just had that little bit of determination. The guy's an absolute beast. Like, what a signing. What an absolute signing Romero is. Fantastic. And he's only going to get better and better over time. Then Dyer, the man in the middle, 9 for him as well. Marshalled the back line really well to help stop Liverpool getting any kind of shots off, really, apart from the deflected one that went in, and that came off a midfielder, so wasn't even the defence's fault on that one either. But, I think he's been integral this season. He's been really good. His communication is great. He's gone from strength to strength. The back three really suits him. So yeah, 9 for him as well. And then Ben Davies also comes away with a 9. Some iffy passing early on though, but he made some really important blocks in the game. Obviously the Salah one that we spoke about, but he really was putting his body on the line to make sure that we didn't lose this game. So really proud of all 3 of those in there. And we've got a mixed bag on the man of the matches, which I'll talk about after the rest of the players. So that brings us on to the wing backs. Sessegnon comes away with a 7. Not his best performance, but he held well considering who we're playing, and he's had an up and down season with injuries, rotation with Reguilon, even Doherty's had a spell there. Nervy start for him. Grew into the game as it went on. Obviously gets the assist for Sonny, and at the end of the day, that's important. An assist. Without him in that position, we wouldn't have had the assist, we wouldn't have had the goal. So well done him. Royale comes away with a 9. Started the move for the Son goal, defended well throughout, and we know defensively he's been better than he has been going forward, and I would argue that was his best game in a Spurs shirt by a mile. In an attacking sense, obviously he still wasn't fantastic, but bearing in mind the bombardment you get when you play Liverpool from their wide players, be it the fullbacks bombing on or Diaz being down that side, I think he coped with it really well. So massive credit to him. Then moving into the central midfield positions, Bentancur, he gets a 7. Had an early shot saved in the game, but I think he struggled in the first half. He wasn't really a presence, and then improved in the second. Hotspur, he gets a 9 as well. 6 minutes in, an interception that he made for a Spurs break. A pinpoint pass for Kane. He hit the post as well, obviously. The header near the end was the only thing that frustrated me, but the fact is he was in a position again to help create a chance for us. So, all-round solid display from him. In attack, Kulusevski, he gets a 7. It was a hard one for him, really, wasn't it? He had some nice touches in the first half on the right hand side, less influential in the second half, but he worked hard, but not to really any kind of avail. Sonny, he gets a 7, hard working from him, completely unmarked for the goal. And then Kane, a 6. He was it was a combination of it wasn't his best game, and the Liverpool defence kind of marshalled him fairly well. So he had the early chance that was blocked by Hendo. He did well for the goal though to pick out Sessegnon when many of us probably thought he was actually going to shoot. I was really shocked. And then moving on to the subs, Sanchez came on. He gets a 6. He defended well, just kind of slotted in. Harry Winks and Bergwijn, not really much to talk about. They didn't get much game time. Bergwijn was just on for Sonny. Made a nuisance of himself, actually. He almost immediately had a chance at goal, went wriggling through people. And then Winks, he came on for Kulusevski late on, and he was the one that actually provided the cross for the Højbjerg chance that he should have scored. So yeah, that's it for the player ratings. Now let's talk about man of the match. It was a very mixed one. So I can't remember who Sky Sports gave it to, but there was 3 different people that got man of the match across the board. There was somebody gave it to Romero. I think the Spurs fans, through Spurs official, actually voted for Emerson Royale, and I think it might have been Sky actually that gave it to Ben Davies, but or BT, whoever, I think it was BT, wasn't it? Across whoever was doing it, across the 3, all 3 of those picked up a man of the match. So let me know in the comments below who you think gets man of the match. There's an argument for all 3, but I think Romero has kind of set a standard over the course of the season. Ben Davies, for me, he has a very good shout just because of the importance of the things that he did in that game. And then I suppose the argument for Royale, Emerson, is the fact that it was his best game in a Spurs shirt. And he was up against Luis Diaz. So yeah, argument for all 3. Let me know in the comments below who you think. But for me, I think I'm going to go with Ben Davies because he made some really important blocks at crucial times in the game, when it could have led us on to defeat if he wasn't there. So that's mine. Let me know in the comments below who you think. Let's talk about some of the things that were said. So Davies has been talking this week just about Conte. Saying that Conte is very detail orientated, like the most detailed manager that he's ever worked under. He said that we have a clear way of playing, and then he makes small tweaks depending on who we're playing. He said Conte makes it very, very easy for us on the pitch. You know your role and responsibility, and the level of detail is incredible. We've just got to up the consistency, which I think, we all know. The consistency has been the big sticking point this season. We've managed to do well against certain teams, and we've let ourselves in for some disappointing results. The Southampton, Brighton and Brentford games, 2 losses in there and 1 draw, could come back to bite us in the backside come the end of the season. And then you flip it the other way. We've beaten Man City twice this season. We've drawn with Liverpool twice this season. We're the only team in the Premier League not to lose to one of those 2 at least once this season. Do you know what? We seem to perform well against teams that go for it because it works for us. We get our bodies behind the ball, we get the ball, we break, and our attacking players do the rest of the work. But when it comes to a team like, let's say, Burnley, they'll put many midfield, so we can't find a way through there. They'll have enough men in defence. Their strikers will get back and defend. And with 11 men behind the ball, it makes it very difficult. They stick close to their goalkeeper, so there's not space to break into. Whereas, teams like Man City and Liverpool, because they play expansive football, they have a high line. Liverpool obviously have a manic press. They play the Gegen press. And it leaves space in behind, which we exploit very well. And I think I understand that we've got an identity, but I think if we're going to start pushing ourselves up the table, we haven't got enough players yet to completely dictate a game from start to finish against everyone. So we need to find another way. And this is why I'm a little bit annoyed at the possibility that Bergwijn could be going. This is why, these are the games that I think Bergwijn should be playing, and the games against your Burnleys and people like that. And like he did against Leicester, he's able to break the lines on his own. He almost did it against Liverpool late in the game. They're back defending. He wriggles in and out people. He drives at people. And from a central position, I think that's really important. And it looks increasingly like he's going to go at the end of the season, which you can't blame him. He's getting not a lot of game time at all. He's very unlucky because he's very talented. He's still very young, and it's a shame because he could have been utilised a lot better in certain games. And this is the problem. It's great to have an identity, but if you haven't got the players to pull it off in every game, you need a plan B. And that's what we're lacking at the moment, the adaptability. So we'll see. Obviously, North London derby now is very important. It's a must win. I do think we... Oh, hello. Camera's moving. I do think we will beat Arsenal. I don't think the players will allow Arsenal to guarantee themselves a top 4 finish at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I don't think the fans will allow that either. I think everybody's going to be completely behind them, pushing the lads on. Yeah, I just can't see him doing it there. But the annoyance is because of these dropped points we've had against other teams. I mean, we even had chances to kill off the Liverpool game, but these other drop points over the last few weeks could cost us, because now, even if we beat Arsenal, they're still ahead of us in the table. So we're relying on them to draw or lose against someone. So we could be relying on goal difference to help us. Obviously, Chelsea are kind of giving people a little bit of hope that maybe there's a chance somebody else could finish third. Can they drop out of the top 4 altogether? Who knows? Obviously, I will be telling you when I present all my findings in the next video, which definitely will be up tomorrow. I'm definitely going to do that one. I might even squeeze it in on my lunch break at work. But that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on the game. A game where, ultimately we played very well. A lot of defending had to be done. A lot of the game was bogged down in defence and midfield for us. But hey, on a different day, if our front 3 were more effective, could have gone on to win it. But all this tells me is if Conte stays in the summer and we back him going to next season, we've only had him since Nuno got sacked. A full season under Conte, I think we would have been guaranteed top 4 this season, which tells you next season, where's our ceiling going to be? Who knows? So thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, support the video with a like, and put your comments below. Keep the conversation going. So thank you very much. Take care, and until next time, come on you Spurs.